Stern just announced they're doing another Transformers pinball, and today I have a leaked image of the playfield to share with you guys, and I'm going to be going through the shots that I've identified and sharing the layout with you all. Now, quickly, just to clarify, this leaked picture in front of me actually came from the Stern app themselves. It's not as though there was any sabotage involved. This is just a mistake on Stern's end, and so that's why I'm presenting it to you guys today. We have a pretty clear shot of the playfield, like it's pretty high res for something that the public's not supposed to have their hands on yet. And I've been looking through what I can see is all the shots, and I'm going to present them to you guys today. Now, Transformers as a theme honestly doesn't do anything for me. So this is going to be more of a pinball player's look into the game and not a Transformer fan look into the game. The toys, the sculpts do nothing for me personally. So this is Elliot Eisman on design, or at least that's the rumor. And if it is, this will be his second design after John Wick. John Wick, of course, coming out a couple years ago. To mixed reviews. I feel as though it's a bit overhated, but I wouldn't say it's the world's greatest game. However, if we are to talk about John Wick for 1 second, on the Pro in particular, if we look at the shot of the car, and then all the shots to the right hand side of the game, I reckon those are pretty spot on. Shoot very well. I love that right ramp, the right orbit, the briefcase shot, the car are all good. The left hand side of the playfield isn't as strong, but it is what it is. I think aside from that center ramp, it's a very good shooting game. Like it shoots really nice. If it's set up correctly, we had one locally, and the operator who had it set up did a banging job. And I would have argued at the time that it was the best playing game in the whole city. And John Wick isn't even a great game, but that one in particular just was great. Anyway, so Transformers, his second design, I've been very excited to see what he will do. I've been anticipating this a lot, and I was pretty confident he was going to throw a third flipper in because he got an unfair amount of backlash for doing a fan layout. I think if you're shitting on a game just because it is technically a fan layout, like, use your eyes. Look at the shots. Do they look good? Do they look crap? There you go. Now shit on it if they look crap. But if they look good, don't. Like Deadpool, that's a fan layout. Do you hear people shitting on Deadpool? No. Only love, and that's a fan layout, right? Don't shit on fan layouts unless it's an actually shit game, right? Anyway, we have the complete opposite of a fan layout here. Where there's Christ, there's a lot happening. So let's get into it. I'm just gonna go left to right. Let's get this out of the way fast. This is just a quick video. Right. So banging right here, and the context of everything, I believe, is just a slingshot. I could see a bit of a coil or something there, and then I want to say two switches, and then your coil that fires the little kicker there. You can see the exact same thing on this slingshot here. That's why I'm pretty confident to say that this is a slingshot. You could compare it to the right-hand side of the Labyrinth as a recent release, having kind of two slingshots there, which is an interesting an interesting design choice. I think extra slingshots are cool, but they're a hard thing to implement well. So I'm very interested to see how it works in this context. There we go. And just above that slingshot, right here, if we point really close, zoom up real hard, there we go. I believe there is just a target there, a square target, which is cool. And right above it, we got this, I don't know, some T-Rex guy. I don't know Transformers, but I believe he's one of the four main Transformers. You can see it kind of says Autobot here, which I think is one of the names. I don't know. I'm a pinball player, not a Transformers fan. And so you got some mech there. I'm going to be interested to see if that is on the Pro because we are looking at the limited edition layout right now. This is the only picture I have of the playfield. And below him, we have this shot here. Goes around like that. Similar, think of Foo Fighters, that very left-hand side shot, how it kind of quickly curves around like that. Except instead of flying off the playfield into a shot later on, this actually, I kind of 80% confident, if not, I'm about 95% confident that this shot, here, I'll try and outline it for you guys. Here we go. That's the outsides of the shot there. So the ball goes in through there. I'm pretty confident it goes onto this ramp here, a little wireform ramp, and then gets diverted up here and feeds a third flipper. So think of King Kong, how King Kong has that little ramp that you can hit from that tiny flipper, and then the ramp comes onto a wireform and diverts the ball up onto the playfield and falls back down for your flipper. Okay? There is a third flipper right here, hidden under one of the other robots. I don't know. And then there's a little target right here. Very cute, very cute. And then we have, I believe, a kind of 180 half pipe ramp here on the left. Looks like, honestly, I reckon that's the best shot in the game. If I'm looking at everything, I reckon this left ramp here is going to be the best shooting, best feeling shot in the game. It looks pretty safe, reliable. It looks pretty easy. I reckon it's going to be a good bailout shot. And in terms of where the ball kind of goes to after that, I'm a bit. No, okay, I figured it out now. It goes onto this wireform here and comes back down to your left flipper. So right flipper, that's this nice 180 ramp, comes down to your left flipper. I reckon that's the best shot. That looks sick. Middle ramps are always cool. And there we go. And we've got a nice captive ball right next to it. Which also looks very cool. I'm liking this section of shots here a lot. I'm really liking this left shot and this left ramp. I'm very excited for that left ramp in particular. Here we go. Nice. And then if we go just above it, I think we're going to start looking at some shots that are made from the side flipper. So we have two main shots that I can see. We've got a flipper here, and I believe it makes one shot here, and then another shot up here, right? I think that's what we're seeing. And so in terms of what these shots are, this shot right here in between these two posts, I'm very confused on what it does, but I do see a post that comes up from beneath the playfield, and I assume the ball can be trapped here behind this post. And when that post is released, it's going to just dribble down somewhere between there. Maybe it hits this little center post here. One of the best things about Stern in the last couple of years is the amount of center posts we've been seeing. Center posts are awesome. Retrofit them onto all your games. Center posts are sick as fuck. But I don't really know where the shot goes. I don't know. I kind of feel like it's a bit of a dead end shot. There's something that needs to happen for the ball to want to come back through this way. And so I'm thinking maybe it just hits a target. If so, that shot looks like shit. I don't know. It doesn't look great. We'll see. I don't know. I'm very curious, but I think that says add a ball. That definitely says extra ball. So, and I think given that there's an extra ball on it, some games want to stall a bit to give you a big extra ball animation. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. And then the next shot from the upper flipper, I'm pretty confident on the entrance of it. Goes up here, right? Yeah, this is kind of the shot here. Comes around, and I don't know where it goes after that. It's a bit blind. If I had to guess, I would guess it just loops, comes back round to this flipper here. But I'm also kind of thinking maybe it gets stalled around here and feeds some big mech robot thing. So we got another robot here, I believe that is Optimus Prime, and then another robot here. So four robots, total Transformers, I should say. One here, second, third, fourth. Cool. I'm excited to see the Pro. More than anything, because then I can actually identify the shots and see the bones of the game. Because the premium LE features are just kind of feel like a bit of decoration in most games, and the pros were the real gamers. And then above that we got Optimus Prime. I don't know what he looks a bit chunky there. I don't know what the story is. Maybe fuck. Actually, now I'm looking at it. This guy he definitely folds down over the spot here. Well, I reckon he folds down and he takes up this area of the game, judging by this light here on the playfield. And then I believe this light is your indication that like you got to hit this dude. So yeah, I think this guy definitely folds down to cover this area, which is cool. And I think that's about all he would do. I think that he is simply a bash toy that folds over. And that's it. That's what I expect in a Transformers pin. That's cool. I rate that. But when he folds down, he will block this sneaky little vuck. Here, think of like I don't know, Rush in terms of modern games. There's kind of the shot here goes straight below the playfield, and then it gets kicked up and out. And I'm trying to remember where it goes. There's a couple waveforms stacked on each other. I believe it goes this trajectory here, all the way back to your right flipper. That shot looks tough as fuck. Both of these shots right here look really fucking tough. They look like the left one looks like it needs to be hit from the left flipper and more of a backhand kind of notion, and the right one looks like it needs to be hit from the right flipper and more of a backhand kind of thing as well. But that's where you lock your balls. You got to sign lock one, lock two, multi-ball. Hell yeah, pretty typical, and I imagine that shot gets blocked by Optimus Prime when he transforms, as the name of the game would suggest. Anyway, so we've kind of got that's kind of the left-hand side there. I feel like we've kind of got three sections of the playfield. We've got like this, and then this. These are kind of the sections that all feel like they all kind of feel separate of each other. They don't feel like they interact. The geometry of the shots affect each other too much outside of their respective areas. Here we go, and kind of leaves us with this last section here. Probably the weakest section. I don't know. We'll see. We have this, as I was saying before, the shot kind of up the middle here with a spinner. I believe it's the only spinner of the game. Looks like a cool shot, and I believe that shot whips around here and feeds this flipper. So I believe the only real ways that I'm seeing right now to feed this flipper are this very left-hand shot and this spinner shot up the middle are your main ways to feed that top flipper. Judging by this shot just being a loop and the shot being just a weird clunky thing. I don't know. I don't think you really want to have the ball on that top flipper all the time, if that makes sense. So you don't really need too much. But the main kind of thing about these three shots is you've got this drop target bank right here, and I don't know how I feel about it right now, because it really obscures this gap for the spinner shot here and the gap between this right ramp here. Side note, this right ramp flat being the shape it is, cool. Cool to see. It's cute. It's cute. I like the little corner being chipped off there. That's cute as. But these drop targets, I hope they're not up all the time. Just based on what I'm seeing right now, it looks like it really obscures these two shots here. And especially when the ball's on this left flipper, you kind of want to be shooting at that area a lot. And if those drop targets are up all the time, it's going to give you a bit of a hard time. So we'll see. Maybe they only come up at certain moments, but they're clearly here to block this ramp up to Decepticon. Is that Megatron? Don't know. I'm just reading this little bit of text here. And we can see there's a coil behind him that does something. I don't know. I assume this ramp goes into him. And then by the looks of things, I'm assuming, oh shit, zooming in, zooming out. Here we go. I'm assuming this cannon here fires the ball out of it. It looks a bit small, the hole there, but it would be really weird for them to have that cannon thing there and to not have a ball shoot out of it. I feel like people are just going to expect that by how this sculpt and toy look. So that's why I'm assuming that, and I believe that's why these drop targets are up to stop you just spamming Megatron there. This right ramp feeds the same waveform as this VUC. So when you shoot this right ramp, it's going to come all the way around to your right flipper. Very cool, very cool. And then we have another stand-up target. I feel like that one's a bit unnecessary. There's a lot of little stand-up targets, which is cute. But fuck, like, Stern, there's been a few games from different designers. I'm thinking Elwin and Jack Danger, where they have an upper right flipper, which is awesome. And then they have a right orbit, and it's the hardest shot on the game. I'm talking Jurassic Park and Foo Fighters. Now, I like both those shots in those instances, but I do hear a lot of complaints from people that can't accept that there's a hard shot on their game. But I'm looking at this one, and especially just like oh, maybe it works, maybe it works. I don't know. It looks tight and square as fuck, this right orbit here. And I would assume at first look that it comes back around through the spinner down to your right flipper. I think that's cool. I really like that. I think that's sick as fuck. But there's one thing throwing me off, and that's that I can see that there's a ramp. There's a bit of steel around here that comes through, and the ball goes on this wire form to your left flipper. And I don't know what the hell feeds this ramp. It has to be coming in some sort of direction that way. So we'll see. I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe it's this Decepticon shot that goes around this ramp and you can keep looping it. That's cool too. Um, my hopes are is that this right orbit comes around this loop here. I think that looks fun as fuck. I love like that kind of style of shot where the ball comes back down at the flipper in such a like straight 180-degree motion is something that I've always toyed around with in my own designs and I think is cool. So I'm praying it's that, but and then I'm also praying that this ramp here is the one that leads around there, and then this coil is what diverts the ball into the cannon. I'm hoping that's the case. That's my hopes. But what I fear is that this right orbit is the thing that feeds this ramp, and that this Decepticon shot is always going into a VUC of some sort. But we'll see. We'll just have to find out. May 20 is when this game is fully revealed. I'd also like to point out that this shot here on the left is something that I've always toyed around with because I believe it just goes straight onto this wireform. There's no kind of ramp. It just goes right onto the wireform. Think like Theater of Magic, completely blanked. Monster Bash, Lord of the Rings have ramps similar like that. And I've toyed around with this exact idea of a shot in this exact position that goes onto a wireform but comes quickly around. Oh, it's good. So I'm very excited for that shot regardless. Still very hyped about this left ramp. I think that looks sick. And then going further down, I'd like to point out this diverter that I assume is only on the premium and alley. When you shoot this right ramp or this VUC, there's a chance that the game will decide to divert your ball into another robot, the fourth robot down here, and maybe he shoots the ball back out onto the playfield. I don't know. But below him, I believe, is one of those big long targets that you see on like Turtles, Monsters, maybe even Guardians of the Galaxy. I think those targets are sick. I think in a position like this where it's just on the side, I think long targets make sense from an operator's point of view. Why do I want three targets all individually wired and screwed into the playfield when they do the exact same thing when I can have one long as fuck target? Now, granted, if a wire on that target breaks, now the whole thing's broken. Whereas if only one of the three targets drops, then I've still got two functioning targets. However, I think long targets are cool, and in the right context, I will defend them. And then just below him, we have, I believe, the only pop bumper on the game with the goated hot dog insert surrounding it. I hope there's RGB lights below that. The only pop bumper here, right above this inlane, similar to like the most recent release I can think of is Star Wars Fall of the Empire, having a pop bumper in a similar position, and also another one there. Cute. Pop bumpers are hard, man. It's really hard to design a modern shooting game with interesting shots and fitting a traditional pop bumper cluster in there. It's easy just to throw three pop bumpers in the back corner, but that's boring. So it's hard, and I feel like now the modern kind of 2020s cop out of like shit, I don't have any pop bumpers in this game is too easy. I'll just throw one on the side. You know, Star Wars does it, but that's not a bad thing. I think it's good. I love pop bumpers on the sides. If you look at some of my designs, I've got one coming out very soon. I've got a similar pop bumper arrangement. It's good. Godzilla does it really well. Even X-Men has one. I barely noticed the one on X-Men there, but I do like the one there on X-Men. And that's about it. We got this cool ramp formation here. I haven't really seen that. It's cute. You can still see the outline a bit, which is cool. I mean, I guess just while I'm pointing out cute things, this outline post here is on an angle instead of going straight up and down, which is cute. I like seeing fun stuff like that, whereas this one is your typical up and down. It's all good. I'm just trying to think if there's anything I kind of missed or wanted to note. In terms of the artwork, I thought you couldn't get worse than that original Transformers art package. And this one definitely is a massive improvement. But like, I feel like there's no art. I'm looking at it and it's just colors, you know? I guess you got some cool illustrations there. But I just feel like it's all just bright colors and nothing, there's just nothing on it. It's just all colors and space. I don't know. It probably looks better in person, but right now it's not doing much for me. Looks like we got a ball save on the left. Looks like the LE has the Autobot Decepticon kind of powder coat color scheme, which I'm not a fan of, but I guess they brought it back. Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I'm not the target audience for this. However, I'm very excited for this game. I'm excited to see what Optimus Prime does here. I see that there's a playfield multiplier here on the captive ball. Just looking at these kind of playfield inserts, I don't really know. Looks like I'm guessing that's a playfield multiplier goes up to 2 and 3x. That's good. No more than 3. No more than 3. Don't go 4, don't go 5x. Don't ever even think about going beyond 5x. Christ. 2 times playfield's awesome. 3x is cool too. No more. So I'm glad to see that as someone who cares about scoring good points on pinball machines. I don't want to see massive playfield multipliers. That makes the game infinitely more boring. But yeah, I don't know. I think this looks like a real clunker, in all honesty. Not that that's a bad thing. I love clunky. There are games I love that are clunky. Like Twilight Zone's a clunker. Rick and Morty, that's a super clunker, but I like it a lot. Yeah, like a playfield, a playfield is a good starting point for a game. But if this has good rules, and like great theming and music and sounds too, that will have bonus points. I'm thinking this right ramp could be really cool. I'm really concerned about this drop target bank absolutely munting the flow of this game. But like I said, I think the left ramp looks like the best thing on this game. Yeah. The only thing I'm very unsure of is this portion here. I'm very confused on what on earth I'm looking at. You can see there's a few wires here, and I believe they just tack onto this wire form, which I'm still like this left ramp still looks really sexy to shoot, but I'm confused on how the ball gets up here. All right. I don't think this is real, but I'm thinking maybe this ball here leaves the playfield. I'm just rambling. This is live thoughts and ideas. I'm thinking that this ball here is one of those kind of static Newton balls that are screwed into the playfield. This first ball is not moving. However, the ball behind it, that one there, I'm thinking maybe that ball somehow no. Fuck, I don't know. Maybe that ball somehow you can shoot into this shot. This post comes up to stop the ball from going out, and it will fall down there and load behind this ball. And then you can shoot it. You can with a second ball shoot this Newton ball, and this or your original ball will come up here and somehow get onto that wire form. Nah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm very confused because I believe this steel piece here sits below this wire form and is what the ball goes on to get onto this ramp. How the fuck does it get there? Maybe. Okay. All right. Another thought. I am thinking Megatron, I believe that's his name. I think he rotates, so his gun points to the shot here. I'm thinking you load the ball into Megatron, it comes into this gun, right? But then the whole neck turns and shoots the ball here, and then it comes down the ramp. That's sick. That's really cool. But why does the neck have to turn? That's the one thing that I'm confused about. Shouldn't it just automatically be facing its gun that way? Or maybe just the gun turns? Fuck, I don't know. But also, like, this hole looks too small. I don't know. Maybe there's some sort of maybe the ball has to clear some air to feed the shot. I don't know. I'm taking too long with this video. This is just a quick one, just to show off how I feel about this leaked playfield and what I can identify from it. Still confused on where this thing diverts to. Maybe it just comes out and just falls down there. I don't know. I don't know. But the plunge definitely comes around this orbit. Maybe it comes around there. I hope so. If the plunge comes all the way around there, that's sick as fuck. I like that. I really love the geometry of the ball making that loop there. I'm not too sure if that's what's going to happen, but I really hope it is. It's going to make for a really casual newbie point of view, it's going to make this game pretty difficult when the plunge is coming at your flippers and there's nothing to stall it. But I think it's cool regardless. And then I guess a skill shot would be short plunging to this flipper and making a shot. Easy, easy. Seen it before. That's cool. Lots of targets. Good left ramp. Good left ramp, I guess. A slingshot, which I don't think is necessary, but we'll see. Maybe it works in the game. Maybe it helps send the ball at this guy here. We'll see. These shots look really difficult. This bank looks really hard. This shot looks really hard. Optimus Prime should be sick as, but he's going to block this lock shot. And if we're having balls flying in the air, there's a chance that the ball could fall behind Optimus Prime while he's down. Maybe it's sloped in such a way that the ball can fall behind Optimus Prime and into this Vuk. I don't know. I don't know. Either way, I'm very excited to see this trailer and how this game actually shoots. I'm excited to see what's on the Pro because the Pro is the actual bones of the game. The Premium is just a cute little mix that make the game a bit cooler. Yeah, but regardless, I'm very excited. Elliot Eisman, you have done a very cool job. I feel like Elliot gets a bit of shit for John Wick, but I still think John Wick is a sick shooting game. And I think Elliot has far to go. I think he's going to go far as a designer. I think he's going to become a bit of a George Gomez. You know, George Gomez's first games weren't instant hits, but had become very desired over time. And then he would later on go to do Monster Bash and Lord of the Rings and Deadpool, which are some of the best games of all time. I think Elliot Eisman, the ideas I'm seeing here, I think he is going to go very far. And he's one of the designers that I'm very excited to see put out designs. This is his second effort. Um, I'm very excited. Nice work. This is a fucking weird game, but I'm down for it. I'm down for it. I think it's real. There's a lot of shots that are far back, um, which is interesting. But we're gonna see. I think there's some unique shit on here. Some weird shot like playfield combinations. So I'm excited to see this. I'm very excited, regardless. This is just a quick video. Thank you all for watching. I just wanted to quickly, I guess, share my thoughts, show my thought process on how I kind of see a game before it releases and see what the hell the shots are. If you're watching this and you want to see more content, I have 2 videos in the pipeline. One should hopefully be out in the next week or two. It's going to be a good one. Top 10 90s pinball machines. It's my top 10. Some hot takes, some cool stuff. It's my most highly edited video too, which is cool. And then I've got a playfield design that I'm very excited to release. It's very old school, inspired by late 70s, early 80s games. A bit of Gottlieb's Hoops has inspired it too, which is a very cool game in itself. But yeah, anyway, enough rambling. Thank you all for watching. Subscribe. We're so close to 150 subs. Yeah, appreciate it. Leave a comment if you're excited for Transformers. If you think this game looks cool, if you think it looks weird, let me know. All of that. All right, thank you all for watching.